There exists a photograph of a tree seemingly floating in the middle of a lake. Now this certain photograph would lead to thousands of tourists flocking to this one town in hopes of taking a photo as great as this one. This is the story of that wanaka tree. So, in the South Island of New Zealand, there lies a quiet little town called Wanaka. Wanaka is a small place that for the most part didn't get much attention from tourists. Now, this is probably due to the fact that it's located right next to Queenstown, which is a tourist hotspot in New Zealand that took most of the attention, with things like bungee jumping, skydiving, kayaking, rafting. In fact, there are a lot of things to do here, and there are times that the amount of tourists in Queenstown outnumbers the local residents by a whopping 1:34. This is pretty crazy, but back in Wanaka, it would remain relatively quiet, with not many tourists coming there. Well, except for one reason, Puzzling World, which is a really cool puzzle maze-like place, which I highly recommend going to. But there was a tree located in the middle of the lake, which was at the time only known by the locals and the odd tourists here and there. But then in 2014, a local photographer, Dennis Rademacher, would set out to take a photograph of that wanaka tree. So he set out in the early hours to try and get a photo just as the sun rises, so he could get a photo of it with the sunlight bouncing off the lake for that perfect photo. However, when he got there, he saw that it was absolutely foggy, with barely any visibility, with the lake covered in mist, which originally disappointed him, as it was not what he had in mind. However, he still decided to take a photo, and he probably was glad he did, because this photo would go on to win New Zealand's Geographic Landscape Photo 2014 award and be uploaded onto social media, where it would blow up and cause many other photographers and tourists to come here to try and capture their perfect shot of that wanaka tree. This boosted tourism in the area, which was good for the local businesses, but has led to the tree being sometimes very crowded on busy days, which has some saying it has ruined the tranquility of the tree, as well as the fact that some people have tried to get as close as they can to the tree, with some of them reported to have snapped branches of the tree by climbing it, which has made the local government put up signs around the tree requesting people to not climb the tree. Now, as more and more tourists came in and took photos, people started to wonder, how exactly did this tree grow in the middle of the lake? Well, that takes us to historian Gwenda Rowlands. Now, Gwenda spoke about this tree and how 80 years ago she remembered a fence post extending all the way out to the lake, with the last post in that fence being made out of a chopped willow branch from a nearby tree. This post would slowly grow over time into the wanaka tree we know today. She also said that this image right here, illustrated on this book, Wanaka and the Surrounding Districts, could be one of the earliest recreations of the fence post, with the very last post in this image being the one that would grow into the eventual tree. And so 80 years from that post, the tree has grown and still stands, and while branches have been broken off and even sawn off by some very dumb idiots, the tree is still standing and is an icon of the little town of Wanaka. And so, to end this video, a quote by Gwenda Rowlands that reads, "Anything that is alive has a determination to live."